So the next set of exercises we're going to do are all going to be based on your feet, and I'm going to start with the squat, obviously. So the first thing we're going to say about the squat is just that there's so many variations of it. I can't show you all of them, but I'm going to show you a bunch of them that I think are suitable for anybody to be able to do. So just kind of breeze through the technique. We're going to keep your feet shoulder width apart. Feet just kind of fall where they want to go. When we come down, keep the heels down all the time, and let the knees just follow the line or the direction of where the feet are going, and we don't want dropping in, okay? So if you've seen that, you want to squeeze the glutes, you want to push them out, and just keep them straight as you feel comfortable. From the side, we want to just make sure that we're not hunching over. We don't want to be straight here, so as we squat down, we want to avoid this. Keep the chest out, and then drive the hips through. And we don't want to be squatting like this. We want to make sure we're bending at our ankles. So let's assume that you can all do that. Then the first variation that I want to do is a couple of ways to make the squat a little bit easier, really. So we're going to take a chair or a stool, just bring your feet close, and if you stick your bum out, you'll feel it kind of on your legs. That just makes sure that you're close enough. We want to keep your form as we go down, squat onto it. Keep the tension in your legs, drive off, and do the same thing. Make sure all those points that we talked about are being thought about. Another one which actually could be easier or harder, depending on the reason why you're doing it, would be placing yourself against the wall and doing a chair squat here. Okay, so the reason why you might want to throw this in because the squat is too hard, the normal squat, is because you're just struggling for stability. The other thing to make it, obviously, it does make it a little bit harder because now, as I go 90 degrees, I want to keep my bum, my lower back pressed into the wall. Now I'm really isolating the quads, so that's just a way that you can get a little bit more quad activation. Okay, so let's do a few progressions, how to make this a little bit tougher using minimal equipment. First thing we're going to do is, you probably guessed it, a squat jump. Right, so we're going to squat into it, fire up, squat, fire up. Now the thing that we want to make sure we're doing is not forgetting the squat. When people start feeling the burn on this one, they start to do more of a jump. Well, that's just jumping, isn't it? We're not squatting there, so we want to squat, jump, absorb it into the squat, jump, absorb, jump, absorb every time. You do that, yeah, we'll get harder, but you're doing it right. Another way of adding a bit of flavour into it is just to pause and hold. Now you can do the whole thing, like you could say, right, I'm going to do a 30-second, a 45-second, a minute, if you're nuts, you know, holding it there. Or you can just go down, 3, 2, 1, up, or 5 seconds, you know, just holding it, having a little bit of a gap in between, just to make it a little bit different. Another one, Cossack Squat, which is sort of like a side lunge in a sense. So we're going to be here, we're going to be squatting, down, back, opposite side. So the trick here, go nice and wide, not too wide. Okay, from that point, as we squat, we want to just stay, remember, on the heels. So it's essentially, this is the focus of the squat here. This stays locked out, squeeze the quad. You feel a little stretch here, not too much though. And we want to sit back, and then opposite side. It's easiest if you keep your heel down and you point your toe up to the ceiling. Just makes it a little bit easier, a little bit more comfortable. As you see here, as I'm coming down to the side, I'm sticking my bum back as I come down. I don't want to be up, because what that does is it puts my knee too far over my toe. So if you're doing this and you've got knee pain, it could possibly be that you're a bit too high and you need to instead sit the bum back, and in which case you get more activation in your bum, and we all want that, don't we? Better bum. So another variation of the squat, the one that I really like, is a Y squat. I don't see this done too much, but it's really good because it actually helps multitude of ways. Strengthen the upper back. You do work a little bit harder in the core, but it also is good for improving your posture. And if you're forgive my blunt wording, but knocking on in age, then this is really good for you, because as you get older, you tend to round, you tend to get posture issues, and doing these before you hit that point is really going to fight back that that kind of hunch sort of position. So what you want to do is it's the exact same with the normal squat position, feet, hips, everything. All we're going to do is take your hands up into what we call a Y, so it's a Y squat. Palms to the ceiling. We want to twist, so I'm twisting, you don't need to twist. We're then going to squat, and obviously from here you can see I'm trying to avoid this. I'm trying to avoid dropping my hands down and smashing my TV. So as I come down here, I'm going to be here, keeping that straightness, and as I angle over, because of gravity, as I come over, normally my body just wants to lose that. So if I fight against it, now I'm getting that tension in my shoulders, and they're muscles that we really neglect over time. Really good for posture, adds a different flavour, and if you've got, this is where it is actually really good to have, even if you've got them little tiny dumbbells that everybody laughs at, oh, I've got some 1s and 2s at home. Try that with some 1s and 2s. Believe me, it's worth it. Just adding that extra little bit of weight makes a big difference, and it's going to make you really struggle on that one, which is good.